Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
I'm Matthew, and I'm playing Clever Stitch, the Tabaxi Arcane Archer. Oh, it's been a minute.
Yeah, right? How do I do this? I'm Caitlin, and I'm playing Fable Frost, the Ice Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
I'm Megan, I'm playing Saride Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Howdy y'all, this is Maz. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout, part-time Dinosaur Whisperer.
Wrong one. And I'm Carlos. I'm playing Thousand Fahrenheit, the Half-Orc Tiefling Forge Cleric.
All right, guys, welcome. This is Disasters in Danger. It is our D&D5E High Fantasy campaign. So before we get into the action tonight, is there anything people would like to announce or mention? Like the Junk Drawer Show. How are you guys back up for the new year? You started playing yet? What's going on over there?
Yeah, we're actually back up tomorrow for the new year. It's
Cool.
been interesting, just because spoiler alert, one of our characters is a god, which we knew, but he just didn't have his memory, and now he's trying to have worshippers and stuff. And then we just recently found out another one of our characters is apparently another god, which is God number one's brother in disguise. So it's been a mess. So that's where
I'm betting right now that all of you secretly are, and none of that's the end game.
Dun, dun,
all of you are secretly
dun.
gods. I'm predicting it.
I
Nailed
died
it.
laughing because we're talking one's Thor, one's Loki, and then so that's
have
been
siblings.
interesting. Oh no, I know, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm secretly Helm, or Heimdall, whichever one you want to believe. But anyways, so we'll see how that goes because we're also hitting one of our characters' giant arc, and we're literally about to start with a giant siege on a major city. So that's been fun to step away from for a month. So we'll see how that goes. But aside from that, yeah, check us out if you want on Junk Drawer Show, the Junk Drawer Show at Twitch. We usually play Tuesday nights, but we drop our episodes on YouTube on Thursdays. If you want to check out Random Encounters on Tuesdays, check us out on Thursdays. Give us a like, subscribe, all that jazz.
Yeah, all those fun things. So speaking of Tuesdays, tomorrow we are going. So I did a little. Ooh, okay. Matthew will be back. There he comes. So we did a little preview recap of A to Z Monstrosities before the show today. If you want to check that out on the VODs. But for the patrons, we'll be back to doing our normal A to Z Monstrosities tomorrow, 6 p.m. On Tuesday. You can check it out over there on the Patreon. We'll be doing Death Tyrants and Spectators, something like that. The other two Beholder versions from the base monster manual, and then we'll be moving into some things. So tomorrow will be a good episode of that, and I think Caitlin might do another creative stream, maybe some more writing.
Yeah, if we're doing that on Tuesday, I can either do it right after, or we can move that to Wednesday. So we're filling in every day this week. I don't mind doing a writing Wednesday. And then Thursday, Meg, what you got?
We're back with the archives. Myself and Eric, we will be discussing whatever shenanigans we get into tonight, but in an in-depth, really academic sort of way, where at no point do we derail and discuss Roman era birth control for about 5 minutes.
Never, not once. Why would that happen?
I couldn't imagine that either of you would ever derail into anything.
Who are the Romans?
Alone.
I'm just saying, early humanity fucked a species into extinction because it was the most effective form of birth control. We only know it exists in records. That's it. That's all.
Can we derail now? I missed this. What did we fuck?
It was this plant. It was a 100% effective form of birth control that they used. We couldn't figure out if it was Rome or Greece, and neither one of us was going to Google it. So, but we do know it was many moons ago. But the only reason we know it exists is because it shows up in some writings. But the plant doesn't exist anymore.
As the plant that let us fuck without spreading seeds? How do you write about that? Never mind.
And
Don't answer me. I don't know.
And then how do you figure it out? See, this is the, and there we go.
Yeah,
5
how do
minutes
you figure that
spiral.
out? How much sex do you have to be having to suddenly have people go, well, I've been having this much sex and I've never gotten pregnant. It's because I'm drinking that tea over there. Interesting. Shall
Those
we
of us that
test
have
it
been to
out?
State college know exactly how much sex you've been having. So
Yeah. Welcome to Disasters and Danger. It's not even Friday night, but we're treating it like it is.
Speaking about Friday, we play Diablo and have these types of conversations the whole
what did
night.
we do last Friday, Cody?
We did easy, our first conquest. Yes, we did the boss mode.
That was fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was a four-player team effort. We did we did all the major bosses in 20 minutes. I think there's what 12, 16 of them.
19 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, 19 minutes, 15 seconds. So that was
I still don't know how I slept after that.
yeah, it was.
I wasn't even
couldn't-
playing it. I was high. I was like,
I couldn't feel my hands. My
Yeah.
arms went numb. Like immediately after, it just sort of.
Yeah. I realized I was sweating for that whole 20 minutes. Like it was super anxious. So yeah. It was awesome. Felt everybody pulled their weight and pitched in. It was a great team effort. It's one of those. It definitely felt like the end of one of the sports movies, right? It's like everybody learned and like did their part, you know. Like Whistler went the right way to get to the Skeleton King, and that felt like a huge accomplishment in and of
That
itself.
was a win.
Yeah.
Does
that was a
anyone
win
else
now-
regardless.
Does anyone else now desperately want to see a video gaming movie, but treated like a sports heartwarming film?
Like
We
the
needed
Rudy.
that.
Yeah.
Of that. Let's write it. Let's stamp it, ship it. Let's do that script, and make it a web series. Everyone will cheer. I cheered.
Yeah.
I cried. I wasn't even playing. I was so invested in you guys for that 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was a sports fan.
Yeah, because we shaved almost 3
It
minutes.
was like three almost. I think like 3 or 4 minutes almost off of our
Because
first
it was
time.
22.
It was 22
Yeah. It was
and
22.
change, and a chunk of change. Yeah, so it was nigh on three
was good.
plus minutes.
It was
so
good.
yeah, it was down to the wire. It was you couldn't write it any better than that. So it was a great time. I don't know how we'll beat it this week, or we won't.
I don't know.
We'll just
grind
we'll
out some gems or
yeah,
some shit.
we're
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
grind. Yeah. It'll be a good time. So that's
We
Friday.
we don't have to prove anything now, man.
I
Exactly,
know.
we've
We're
done
done.
it.
This
So
is
now
it.
we just get to plateau and decline for the rest of the season.
My
At
20s.
least you have your
Yes.
expectations. Like you go in knowing what you are and what's coming.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with Random Encounter this week. We'll keep you guys informed if you're members and followers and all those sort of things. Discord, blah blah blah. Yes, Caitlin.
I just want to real quick. This has nothing to do with pitching other things. This is a genuine disasters question. I think I am choosing. I'd like to poll the group instead of bumping 2 different skills up to the next level because I have 2 at odd numbers right now. I could bump up intelligence and wisdom, both. Alternatively, I could take Magic Initiate and just get so many fun spell options, which would possibly also allow me to have some kind of like healing touch or like versatile buff spell to also help our healing classes. What should I do?
We've got enough healers between.
I also don't have to take healing. I can take warlock spells for fun. Like I can take Eldritch Blast. Like
We've got between Saride, Thozin, Sirach, and Olrun. On
That's
any
fair.
given night, we're gonna have some healing.
good. I don't have to take healing, but just magic in general. Extra magic or extra smart.
Flip a coin, roll a dice.
Fuck. They're all not helpful at all.
Yeah, roll a die. Do
Yeah.
a D4, odds and evens, or a D20, or a D6.
Odds, you get the feat. Evens, you get the skills.
Feet it is.
There you go. Let the fates decide.
Yeah.
Let the feats decide. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll excuse myself for the rest of the night. That was horrible.
All right. Well, let's dive into it, shall
Really
we?
happy to be back.
No, we're happy to have you guys back. Everybody's glad to be back. Here we go. Our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdrock. They are lands of myth and legend, lands with few gods that whose power is distant. However, these are lands of myth and legend, where fate may be rewritten in blood, if you have the right weapon. Our heroes are the Archivists. They are members of the Magnus Exploratorium and have set upon a great quest to an ancient place known as the Forge, where these arms of the fated are rumored to have come from. Along the way, they've been on a great many adventures. They've traveled beneath 4 Point Farms to Velxer's Teeth and to Vlodensravikt and back and forth again. And now they are traveling north and have recently encountered one of the tribes of the Great Plains. And here they have spent the evening following a T-Rex attack or ambush. Attack, you guys realize, and I will let you guys know that it seems that the drums of this particular tribe are what was used to summon forth the great dinosaurs across the plains and draw and attract their attention across the river and things like that. Bit off a little more than they could shoot. Luckily, our heroes were around in search of the Oaken Blade family blade. Sword. That was a little repetitive. We'll work that out in a bit.
I mean, it's the Oaken Blade, right?
The Oaken Blade,
It
I
has
suppose.
to be the
Yeah.
Oaken Blade.
Yeah.
The Oaken Blade's Oaken
Full
Blade.
stop.
Yeah, Oaken
Yeah.
Blade's Oaken
The Oaken
Blade.
Blade. It's the Moon of Swords.
It's the Moon family sword.
You're welcome. We love you.
Well,
Meg,
There-
are you okay?
it's the meta nosebleed she just had.
Thank
so.
you. I was trying to figure that out. Thank you for knowing her. I sad I missed that.
Yeah. So, having just, you guys have risen the next morning. You've had your wonderful tribal centaur, dinner, and Merilith, I believe. Meredith. What was her name?
I'm pretty sure I wrote this down. The tribe leader we were speaking to was Shellivan.
Shellivan. That's right. Yes. Okay. So Shellivan is going to. Yes, Meg. Would you like to share?
Meredith, something in there? Shellivan. Yes, Shellivan. Nothing. None of those sounds. Sorry.
He just heard his head for some reason went white girl name, just white girl name, and Shellivan feels like it should be a white girl name, a preppy fucking white girl name.
Do you want to?
Meredith?
Do you want to
Meredith.
know why? Because when I made up the
Why?
name, I looked off screen and I saw Michelle, and so it was M. Shellivan.
Sure.
Fair.
So
Fair.
I knew it was a white girl name. I didn't know which one it was, and I knew I fantasied it up. That is how I do. That is how I make up names. I just sort of look around and I was like,
Shellivan
yeah,
with her sisters, Ashlyn and
And
Kalish in the
And
back.
Kaylin.
yeah.
Rude.
Like Kaylin with like Keighlien. Kaylin.
That's too many for one name.
Exactly.
If I have a
So-
kid, I'm calling him Bob.
Why the first B? Why the last
Not-
B? Just go with Bo.
Not Bobathan? Not
Baborius.
Bob, short for barbarian.
Baborius. I will fantasy up any mundane name you don't even know in a heartbeat.
I'm coming to you next time I'm having brain blockage on naming characters. I'm just be like, babe, go. Like,
Yeah.
name me.
It's also why I read signs with weird Emphasis on the wrong syllables.
And I love it. Thank you for forever doing that because
You're
you've
welcome.
given me name ideas driving in the fucking car.
Yeah.
I know Meg has different feelings about it. She hates it. I
We would
relish
be
in the
walking
weird.
the convention floor mid-conversation. I'd be trying to have a chat with my coworker and friend, and this motherfucker's just randomly reading signs like he can't read properly. I'm like, what the? I'm not even a person to you, am I? I'm just walking ears. God.
But you're pretty walking ears.
So
You're
the,
very-
so the Archivist and Shelvin are striding across the Great Plains, off to find Radovan of the Ayungi of the Great Tribes. Ayungi of the Great Tribes. Is there anything in particular you guys would like to do, need to do during this travel time? This is sort of your opportunity to gather up some business as you're making the trek. She tells you it's going to be. She's not sure the exact position of the tribes, but the wind guides the way, and it should be between 3 and 5 days.
All right, my first question is just making sure we did get our long rest.
You did, absolutely. Yeah, you feasted, you shared stories and songs, and had a wonderful evening. The dino meat was tasty, seasoned, spicy. You can tell that they're going to take some more time and days. Most of the tribe is actually staying to finish prepping, cleaning, harvesting those 3 T-Rexes. It's going to take them some time. There is a entourage that is traveling with Shelvin, which is about half a dozen warriors and 2 other that seem to be like squires. You would figure like they're lesser combatants. They have smaller weapons. They are in one way like the pack horses of the group, but they're also like they're very much squires. They're warriors in training. They're young boys. This is how they young boys in the Japanese wrestling training sense, not like young boys, little boys, right? So they're around. So it's about the 8 of them plus Shelvin traveling with you guys. Other than a long rest, do you guys have any other business that is pressing before you arrive at the tribes of the Great Plains?
In my downtime, I would keep working on the earrings that I've been working on for me and Saride. I think I've given her one. Which one? Do you remember which one I gave you? Was it Autumn? So it was the Carnelian. Okay. But I would keep working on that, just tinkering around in between like travel and downtime and stuff.
Did we set how long it would take you to finish a set of earrings? Did I give you like a number of days, or is it a day an earring?
I don't think you did, just because I'm trying to better myself in tinker tools, and because I have my jeweler's tools.
Yeah, I would say it's jewelry. It's jewel crafting.
Because I just became proficient in jeweler's tools, so we never really established.
Okay, so let's call it a day an earring, like individual earring, and you can do it as you travel. So you've got about by the time you get to the tribes, another 9 days, so that you can check that off. That may wrap it up for you or not. I'm not sure.
I think it does.
Cool. Caitlin.
Fable is going to hang around Thozen actually a lot. A, to justify my absence from several games. B, to justify my current level up. Her newest spell is a big fire spell. The 2nd level Agazar's Scorcher or whatever. Big fire, but it takes a lot of control. So I imagine she's practicing focusing it because it's this big gout of flame, and the first couple times she tries it, it just everything. So it's him fire. Help me focus it. So like I like to think she's helping. She's practicing the fire magic stuff that they have done before. That's what she's been doing on the trip, so that by the time she's ready to take this into combat, it's not overwhelming for her because it is big.
Yes.
Sounds good. Anything else? Yeah, Talroth.
I know we had talked about it before with Treasure teaching Talroth about playing cards and stuff. Would I be able to get a few more days on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. You can add at least 4 more days. I don't know if that completes a week for you, but they are measured in weeks, so you can add those to your total.
Yeah, I think D&D Beyond had erased my notes on it, so I'm trying to double check how much time I had into it, because it's showing me at 7 out of 10. I could have sworn I was at like 8 or 9 out of 10, but I'll just double check, so I'll just add the 1 week to it. So I'll be at 8.
Okay. 8 sounds about right. If you want to call it 8.5, and we'll call these 4 days an extra half, I'm good with that.
All right, just 1 more week and change, and I got that skill done.
Cool. Sounds good.
The only other thing that I would be doing during this time, especially given how close, considering that this is the closest Talroth has gotten to finding this sword, he's just nervous as hell. Like, just kind of twitchy, just always kind of looking at the centaurs, especially when they're training, just kind of watching how they move, what they're doing, how they train, just kind of taking notes on that just for later. And yeah, just constantly going back to his notes, seeing if there's anything he missed, like maybe some kind of rumor that he overlooked. So he is anxious, to put it mildly.
Sure, absolutely. So, with no other business, you guys are traveling for 3 days, 4 days, and near the close of the 4th day, as the daylight is beginning to set earlier and earlier with every day, you guys are into the month of Mask, I believe. This is usually where...
It's my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are
Hey
into the
Matthew,
month.
what day are we on?
Shut the fuck up.
Matthew's
were
my
just talking
calendar
about-
guy.
We were just talking about this before, whenever it was just the 3 of us on here. I was like, what day is it? Last time I took notes, all of my notes read 13th of Mask. And then that's literally all that my notes were for last game.
So it was the 13th of Mask. You did 4 days, and then the Dinosaurs happened. And you're going to do another 4, so you're up to about the 21st, 22nd.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where you're at. You're my calendar guy, my dude.
So now my notes will read Disasters 2.0-1-1/18/21, 21st of Mask. And that'll be all of my notes.
That's it.
Predicting it right now.
Yep, that's all it's going to be. That is all it's going to be. Towards the end of that 4th day, as the sun is setting across the west and the light makes its way across the great grasses of the plains, there in that pinkish oranging hue of the late day sun, you see into the skies small tufts of smoke, plumes tight together. You're experienced enough. They seem to be the tight smokestacks of controlled fires of either some sort of civilization, right? Chimneys or cooking flames, forge flames. Not quite sure. It does not look like a great danger up ahead. And so you know you're merely a few miles away, a couple of hours travel, and Shelvin will turn to you guys and kind of defer another half day, 4 hours or so. We could travel through the dark if you all are in a deep hurry, or we could arrive tomorrow by midday.
Talroth, thoughts?
As tempting as it is to try to get there as soon as possible, I think another night of sleep might do my nerves a bit of good.
Understood. All right then. We'll make camp here, and we'll need to get an early start in the morning before the tribes potentially move. She lets her warriors know, and they begin to set about their camp. And you can tell there is an eagerness or an excitement in and among the warriors. There is a palpable sort of energy to them. They build the fire a little bigger than they have in the days past. The meat that they've traveled with has been well rationed, and every night you've heard them sort of drum, not on real drums, but on their weapons, on their hides, on their leathers, on whatever bits and bobs and things that they have around them. Some will hum and chant. The music has been perhaps not solemn, but reserved. It's been songs of duty, songs of purpose. But tonight, some of the wind instruments have come out, flutes and recorder-like things, fairly simple, pan flute-like designs, and they're matched with the deep bellowing bass of this one particular warrior who is James Earl Jones levels of grumble, right?
Do it.
Yoanna. I don't. Ay, bang, bang. I don't have a great James Earl Jones, so, but that is him. Ooh, ooh. When I go real deep, it doesn't even pick it up on the mic. Ooh, right? Like, whatever. And their fire is a little bigger, and maybe 20 minutes after the final light dances across the grasses, you hear sort of a horn blow off in the distance. And each of them sort of turn and look in that direction and raise up a voice to kind of match it or join it or call and respond. I'm not quite sure. I mean, you doubt that their voices carry nearly as far as what sounds like a great warning horn, sort of that low echoing boom, right? Last night, before you make it to the tribes, anything special? Yes, Talroth.
So, at least seeing the centaurs for the past few days, I've definitely gotten the impression that the drums, the rhythm, the music, it's important to their culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
So seeing how they've kind of changed their tune on this last night, I want to try to pull away a little bit, just kind of a little bit, not like hiding from everybody, but just a decent distance away, and just kind of pay attention to that music.
Mm-hmm.
Take out the double-bladed sword and start going through some old, basically katas that I would train with before.
Sure, absolutely.
Just seeing if I can match to the music. Just try to kind of get a feel for their rhythm, their beats with that double-bladed.
Sure. Make me a performance check. You can use dexterity in place of your charisma modifier.
All right, that would be 18 total.
Yeah, so there are some areas where it feels natural, where it feels like it fits. There are times where the time signature, for lack of a better word, of the steps that you're doing, it feels like they're it's either too fast or too slow, right? It doesn't quite match up, and it throws you off balance in places. But there are other places where it does match very well, where it does feel sort of natural, and there are certain punctuated notes and the closing of songs or transitioning that fit oddly well. Would not call it a perfect fit by any means, and there are definitely times where you feel like you're forcing it more than it being what is natural. But it's interesting.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably do that for maybe 10, 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
Just getting a feel for it, and then just... Yeah, when I come back, I'll just put the double-bladed down. Just not like putting it away or hiding it, but just kind of staking to the ground to lean it against the rock or something. Just making it seen.
Sure.
So that way the other centaurs, they know it's there. They know what my intention is.
Sure. Make an insight check if you like.
That's a 16 total.
They look at it slightly perplexed. You get the feeling it's like seeing a friend, but either like pictures of them when they were a kid or like it's been 20 years. And you're like, I recognize you, but you don't look the same, right? Or a celebrity after they've had just a little too much plastic surgery, where you're like
The Weeknd with his fucking face CGI.
Kind of, sure. Like it's like, yeah, I know there's the Weeknd in there, but that doesn't look like the Weeknd I know, right? So there's a slight recognition, but there's definitely the dog head tilt of. There's something off about it. So yeah, there's that. Other than that, with no other business, the night passes, seemingly without incident. And before the first light of day, Shelovan is rising, and so are her tribesmen, and they're knocking on the different wagons and carts and getting you guys up early. You do still have a long rest. You turned in early in preparation, but it is, to say the least, a unholy hour that they have begun to travel.
Sarai is not okay with this, I can tell.
Eh?
You looked angry at it.
No, there's a bug.
Oh, okay. It looked like you were swatting the centaurs away when they came to wake you up.
No, bug.
Valid.
Got it. As you guys begin to travel, it's a cool morning, coldest part of the night. The bit of frost has sort of settled into the deepest parts of the grasses, not up top, but when some of you are moving about in the day, in the first bit of the morning, your feet do get cold out in the grass as you're getting dressed or trying to scrounge up some breakfast. It sort of feels like you're being rushed to the airport. You know, you're just a little late getting going. And as you guys ride, the dawn comes at your backs and brings a pleasant warmth that is slow to spread across your bodies and into the wagons. And it is a great morning. You travel for about 4 or 5 hours, and coming into view very clearly is a tent city, a wide variety of what look like mobile homes, tents of all sorts of styles, teepees and yurts and and wide variety of canvas houses, some of them larger, some of them smaller, each of them having sort of a variety of hides. If you guys, you don't need to make a survival check, you can kind of recognize them. Some of them are dinosaur hides, some of them are the leathers of like these massive T-Rexes and things like that. Others seem to be much more leathery. You do recognize some aurochs. There are some hides that are more stitched together of smaller animals like goats and such. There are some different houses. You can tell that there's like some smoke houses that are very specifically for smoking meat, and in the midday morning you can smell the fragrant richness of this barbecue in a wide variety of styles and tastes, some sweet, some spicy. And as you guys are approaching, it is a tent city. It is vast. It is miles, and it is not dense. Each of the areas leaves enough road or room for centaurs to travel across comfortably, and enough room for people to be on the sides of them. There are a fair number of dogs and birds that seem domesticated and are living among them. And as you guys make your approach, you do see some soldiers making their way out to greet you. They are centaurs, but they are more heavily armored than any of the ones that you have seen around or before. Their faces are covered with sort of these hoplite-like armors, each with massive sets of horns on them. The broad plate mail of their chest descends into a barding that covers down almost the entirety of their hooves, sort of these light plates. They carry large spears and halberds that are pretty indicative. And as they approach, they speak Sylvan in an interesting accent, but it is it's the gruffest or perhaps most guttural version of Sylvan that you have heard. Adds a language that is usually very melodic into very harsh tones and sort of discordant notes. For those of you that speak Sylvan, it is a short conversation. As seeing the approach of these centuries, Shelvin steps forward and declares herself who she is, right? And they gesture towards you and ask if she's taking responsibility for you. And she says that she has a debt to repay. They seek the Ayongi, and they have done us a service. It is ours to deliver them there. And the soldiers sort of nod and give it a moment of consideration. And then they step to the side and gesture towards the center of town that you know the way. And so you get the feeling, any of you that speak Sylvan, that Shelvin's responsibility to you and responsibility for you ends pretty much once you get there. She's delivered the package, and she is done. As you guys are making your way into the camp, you can tell a few things. One, the camps that are, you can see that some of the tents are being broken down as you get past the midday. It's very communal living, but you do see that there are a large variety of tribes here. They're not all one great tribe, but this is the Great Tribes city. And make me... I will take history or investigation, or let's go with those two. History or investigation, please.
First roll of the night.
A 16 history.
Okay.
10 investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8 for me.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Okay.
That's a 21 history.
Okay. Okay.
Fuck me, 2021. This is my first dice roll in my first game of the new year.
You're just sloughing off the energy from 2020.
Get them out of the way now.
Here.
You mean
Gotta get it out of here, and now
the 13th months of 2020?
No, this is all you can do from here is go up. So
Give it a couple days, and then the universe will rectify itself.
exactly. A couple of rolls, really.
I'm going to take advantage of this brief moment then, and I'm not going to feel bad about telling you all that in my head I was singing, "It's a Centaur Tent City" to Suffragette City. Centaur Tent City. Because you said it, and it's the right number of syllables, so everybody please sing that.
Okay.
I broke Carlos. Yes!
I'm never going to unhear it.
I know.
So,
I thought of it 10 minutes ago, and I've been sitting on it.
I just saw the meme that people posted in the backstage. Just read
Oh,
it.
I missed it.
Yeah, for anybody that wants to know, the trouble with centaurs is that colts run immediately after they're born, and babies flop around unable to lift their heads up. So, you know, it's...
I apologize for nothing. It's the only thing I can ever think of whenever centaurs are ever mentioned.
But now you'll think of it with my song in mind.
Great.
I'm dying.
Content.
If you are on the Discord, if you're a subscriber, you will get to see this fresh meme hot off the presses.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm dying because I'm reading Percy Jackson right now, and I'm never gonna see centaurs again in my head.
Yeah. Yep. So
I've missed this.
yeah. The history checks did well. The investigation checks did not. So you guys know that the tribes will also. They'll move around, and the city itself is not actually stationary because when a tribe picks up from where they're at, it's not like another tribe necessarily comes and fills in exactly there. The next tribe may come in to the east or the west or the north or south or wherever it may be, and so this city slowly shifts as it goes places, and it's interesting. So they do move around a lot. These are migratory sort of tribal people. As you guys are making your way in, you can see that the Youngi's tent is a much larger than normal yurt. Large circular tent, and it's almost, I would say, to the size of like a circus tent. It stands a little taller than the rest. There are some smoke pouring up and out of it. However, the poles and the uprights of it would have been hammered into the ground. These are the bones of great. You suspect either dinosaurs or dragons, some sort of lizard folk about them. There's a wide variety of scales. Again, some most dinosaur, a few dragon. some Bahir and other sort of planar creatures, right? You do notice there are at least a couple of bullet shells that are used as like anchors to some of these grand uprights, right? And there is a large sweeping entry to the eastern side, and Shelovan leads you in. The two squires step forward and have ridden ahead ever so slightly. You guys are directed to park your wagons off to the side, a few hundred feet away, not far, 100 feet maybe, out of the way. Most important part. And they lead you in. Inside this vast open tent, you can see that there are a variety of, we'll not call them rooms, let's say areas that have sort of been sectioned off. There's definitely a dining corner. You can see high sort of tables, like bar height tables for the centaur soldiers, for the Centaurians. There's some like sleeping areas, lounging, that very much remind, I would say, are akin to kind of like Arabian plush rugs and pillows, where it is lavish and yet still designed to be comfortable and portable. So there is no like hard bed or anything like that. The center is relatively open. There is a fire for sort of warmth, and there are some standing sconces or like candle holders, torch holders, spread throughout the area to give light. Some of them are raw fire, some of them are magic fire, heatless fire, ever burning fire. And there is on the far side, probably the one piece that doesn't look terribly mobile. Until you get a little closer, you realize that it's actually on wheels. There is like a platform for where you would assume the leader to sit. As you guys come into the tent, the sentries that were standing outside stop the squires, and one of them goes in. And the hustle of the room sort of turns and notices you guys. They don't quite stop what they're doing just yet. And then there comes a large rapping. You wanted to do something before that?
Yeah, just because I know I usually have the hood up. This time I have the hood down entirely.
Okay.
And just like pull my hair out from under the cloak, so just kind of coming around. So not making myself hidden or trying to hide or anything, just...
Okay. Good to know.
But still just looking kind of... trying to hide the nervousness on my face, just...
Yeah. Some deep breaths.
Stride is taking this opportunity to look at Talroth for the first time ever and just really figure out what this man looks like.
Yes, he has
That's
been
fair.
forgotten to the age of memory, long past.
He's the elf the eyes forgot.
Yes, exactly.
Been hidden away too long from the eyes of the normal people.
Eyes of man.
There's like one member in the party who has great perception and remembers everything, but I was like, yeah, he's just right.
It's treasure.
We don't see him. It's treasure, obviously.
It's treasure.
Yeah, it's obviously treasure. And the rest of us, when did you grow a beard? Like, what? And Thozen was so thrown that he just bamfed out. Like,
Thozen didn't believe it was true and decided he had to leave. This is what it is.
Yeah, Oh, the only other thing, just if there's a moment, just to in Sylvan thank Shellivan for bringing us here.
Okay. Yeah. As the raps begin to hit one of the tables, and it sort of echoes as though it were a like a woodblock box intended to reverberate that sound. She nods and wishes you luck on whatever is about to happen, and she's gonna back her way out. The last thing I would like to do, what are your passive perceptions?
12.
Would have been higher if I had taken that instead of a feat, but 11.
18.
18.
12. I didn't realize that for a cleric, I have horrible perception.
Wow. Yeah.
You have a...
You have a +2 in
Can I do
wisdom?
something?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Can I do something really quick?
Yeah.
Before
Absolutely.
whatever fuck we're supposed to be percepting happens? She'll go and like straighten something on Talroth or pick lint off of him, or try to make him not in like a demeaning mothering way, but in like a she's still playing that she's second to him somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, so like straighten him and cast inspiration.
Okay. Yeah. So
Whatever comes next.
take your D8 of inspiration.
Yep.
Awesome. The heavy hoof beats fall on the ramp that leads up that dais. And stepping out onto the stage is a centaur larger than the rest. Thick fur about his shoulders, tattooed across the chest and arms. His helmet similar to those of the sentries that had escorted you guys in. And down his flank, a large scimitar, almost impossibly large, you would say. And the rest of the people in here are put together. They look, for lack of a better term, well civilized. This man, however, the only word that could describe him is raw. In presence, in power, in presentation. As those hoof beats fall along the wood and carry him up onto the area, he turns and looks out across the room, lifting the heavy helmet off of his head. He tosses it to the side, caught by a ready squire of his own. It's about this moment, having seen the blade, ostensibly the oaken blade that you all have come to acquire. It occurs to you, both Talroth and to ride, that through the entirety of the camp, this is the only scimitar that you've seen. In fact, this is probably the only sword or sword-like weapon. Everything else may be a short sword, maybe a dagger. But most of the weapons that you've seen here are spears or pole arms, hafted weapons of some kind. There are some knives and daggers, but this is the only sword that you remember seeing on the way in. Yes, Talroth.
I know I'd probably have to get a closer look to see if it's the one that I'm looking for, but the size of it.
At first glance, the blade looks identical, although slightly larger. The other thing is the handle seems to be adorned in far more primal leathers and furs, and wrapped in a, I would say, less refined way. So you have a reaction, I would say, somewhat like the one you witnessed in the people that saw your double-bladed style. It's familiar, but it is slightly different. Make me just a flat intelligence check real quick.
That's a 12.
12. You do know that some magic items can adjust their size to fit their wielder. So that may be what is happening here.
I was about to say, can Fable make a history check about if she remembers any of these weapons? Like we saw the one that will change the attunement of the, like when you attune, it will change the class of the person who's attuned. If she can know if any weapon can, like, their look can change based on who is what class is holding them or something. Because, like, if this guy looks feral, maybe it adapted not just in size but in look.
Go ahead, make me a history check.
Just in case, yeah. So
I was gonna wonder something the same with those in weaponry. Would I be able to assist in any way?
You can assist in that.
please, because I can't roll tonight. I'm gonna roll again. Thank you for assist. I'm bringing out the big boy. Thank you for the assist. That's a 19.
Okay.
On history.
So magic items generally change size. Thosin, you would know the hard portions of them are very difficult to change, right? You don't really change out like cross guards. Handles would also be a bit difficult, but a handle wrap, very easy, right? You just tie some more leather or fur around it. So that's a very simple cosmetic change. Occasionally, weapons are influenced by their owner or who they've attuned to, Fable, but that is a fairly rare instance. You think this is more? It's been here for 100 years. It's been in this tribe, and so it looks like they've decorated it to fit their stylings, right? As you guys sort of gawk around, Radovid calls out. It seems we have visitors that have come for purpose. Clear them way. Come. Speak with the Yoyongi of the tribes.
I'll just just calm my breath down, step forward.
Okay. As you do, Radovid, whatever, looks at you. Bold. So, you've come with purpose. What is it?
The purpose I come with, and pardon my manner of speaking, I come trying to understand history from my family that might be intertwined with your tribe.
Family. All right. What history do we have?
I'll raise my hand up and slowly reach behind kind of turning so he can see that I am grabbing the sword slowly.
As you do that, oddly, none of them flinch. None of them, they seem perfectly calm.
All right. So then I'll just carefully unhook it, bring it around, and just hold it level in front of him, but palm up. Just kind of balanced on the center.
You guys hear some murmurs spread throughout the hall, and Radovid will thump onto the deck, and they silence themselves very quickly. And he kind of steps down off the dais and comes a few steps forward and looks at it. Oh. Family, yes, family. I recognize your family.
This blade here is just a replica.
Cheap. It's cheap.
This one was well crafted, and I'll just kind of glance back at Thosin.
True.
But this is not the real thing.
No, it's not.
The question that I have, and it's more of an interest to know. And I'll just kind of glance down at the sword on his belt. If and that's the true half of the blade this is supposed to be a copy of.
Yes. This is half. Yes. But you will not have it. He
To my
looks
understanding.
narrowly. Go ahead, you can speak, but as you do, he's just sort of narrowing his eyes in on you.
Now, to my understanding, some good 120 some odd years ago, that blade was broken in half. I was just a kid at the time, so my memory of things aren't the most keen. Now, I've heard stories from my village. I've heard stories from the one who wielded the blade when it broke.
Oh.
What I want to know is, at least from your side of it, what happened?
100 or so years. Yes. He looks over to the side, and taking a few steps forward, but not saying anything, is an older man. He has a staff, kind of uses it like a walking stick, but he's probably the oldest dude in this room. And kind of looks at him. 100 or so years, you say? That is about the time the first Yongiru rose across the plains. They had carried war to the unmoving in the south. Victory brought spoils. Spoils brought them respect, and respect unified the tribes. Yes, this was once a spoil of that time.
And if the stories that I've been hearing are true, that one that you so proudly carry is known as Greater Gale.
Yes, this is the Greater Gale.
And that the other half of it, if I remember right, Lesser Wind.
Yes, I know of the Lesser Wind. I was the last person to hold it. No, I was the last person to win with it, I should say. and given it to my nephew. Some 20 years past. And then
Talroth is going to look visibly confused for a second, and then just clear the expression.
Then there came someone very much like you. Talking of family and history and pride. Someone else that claimed the Ungi were but a thief.
To be clear, I have not accused you of being a thief. I understand that all the shit that went down happened well before all of us were born. Well, technically I was already born, but that's semantatical, whatever that word is.
You live much longer than us of the tribes, it's true. It's true. The other came, said it was his birthright, his duty. I appreciate your manners. His were less.
This other you speak of, and I'm trying to, he's trying to force the words out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fable's gonna walk up near him just with a cool ice touch and just a little bit on his back as like a calming, kind of sisterly. Just fine.
Was this man about maybe a little taller than me? Probably well, at least if I remember right, he preferred long golden hair, kept it all nice and pretty.
Yes. Well, hair was less pretty when I saw him. More worldly, perhaps. But yes, tall. About yay tall. Golden hair. Strong. Oh. Bit of magic on him.
As he's describing, I'm just going to kind of reach up and pinch the bridge of my eyes and start muttering in Infernal. Thank you, Treasure. Cast the ass. I swear to God, if you screwed this up.
Yes. He came. He learned. You cannot claim greater gale without the lesser wind.
So I've heard.
I taught him that lesson vigorously. And so, in the night that followed, he killed my nephew, stole the blade.
So he has less a win then.
20 years. Braves of every tribe scattered across the wind in search of this thief.
Well, that certainly puts a few issues ahead of me that I need to probably resolve. My condolences for your nephew.
It's his fault for falling asleep.
I'm gonna carefully just put the sword back, since it's like we won't really need to see it anymore, and just kind of stroke my chin a little bit, just thinking.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
If I may, do you happen to be people who believe in vengeance and honor, and if so, might we be able to reclaim this half of the sword, not just for him, but also because you never should have been in that position? It may be your nephew's fault, but it's not yours, and you seem to be suffering for it. Just in the telling of the tale, that is.
I'm not sure what suffering you see. I am the Ayongi. I am the Thunderer. I am what holds the great tribes together. And I will remain such as long as the lesser wind is gone. You will not claim the greater gale without it. I've said that before. I've repeated myself once, because you are guests. Who speaks Sylvan? Okay. Sarai, you speak Sylvan as well. Yeah. The two of you, when he says guests, he's been speaking common, but he does that thing that that people sometimes do with Japanese words, where there's like a suffix or something that adds on to it that modifies the meaning. So when he says guests, he puts the Sylvan suffix, that meaning like stupid, at the end of it.
I'm going to ignore the obvious insult. Still, at this point, just biting my tongue, just... You have been more than gracious, and the statement has been heard loud and clear. Ayongi. There's only, well, two things that I would like to ask. The first, you said this was 20 years ago when the thief ran off. Have you heard anything of his whereabouts where I might try to find him for this insult against you and your tribe?
The Ayongi starts to laugh, but you hear the shaking of a rattle on sticks, and you look over to the elder that had stepped forward to watch, and you suspect correct if there were any factual inconsistencies, you suppose, the historian. And the Yongi sort of ignores him till he shakes it harder at him, and then he sort of, yes. He had gone south first. South to the wood. To the broken city. But the Braves have chased him far since then. When last we heard, he'd escaped into the mountain west.
Sorry, just jotted that down first before I forget.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess we're going hunting then. To the mountains.
All right, so as he explains that, I would actually pull out a small notebook and just write that down. The other request that I would like to make. and I would actually try to word this very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
With your permission, may I see the sword, the Greater Gale?
He whips it off of his hip with a blinding speed. And it is but inches from your face. Blade first. And he'll sort of turn it. He doesn't let go of it. He doesn't offer you the handle. But he gives you a very close look to inspect it.
Fable is not that stoic. She scampers backwards away from fucking Telos. No! And behind Zotan.
Yeah. I will try my best to not flinch at it. Just trying to maintain that.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
You have inspiration.
You do?
That would be a 19 total.
19 is enough. Yeah, you at most sort of the eye closest to it, right? Just a little bit, but he is impressed with your courage, at the very least. As you look at the blade, you become more convinced that this is it. It does appear to be. The wraps on the handle are superficial. And the rest of it does appear to be what is correct. It does appear to be the blade that, when whole, was wielded by your family.
Yeah, I'll just take a minute to kind of look at the blade. Just lean a little bit, making no effort to touch it.
Yeah.
And just nod. It's like, you have my gratitude. And I'll just bow a little bit and walk back to everyone else.
Should you bring back the lesser wind, show it to them at the gate. You'll be escorted in, hailed as a hero. And when I invariably kill you, because you have it, we'll mourn your death as a champion of tribes.
Some clear-cut accomplishables.
I will stop and just kind of turn back, like talking over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I pry the Greater Gale out of your hands and rejoin the blades together, we will hold a feast in your honor.
Make sure they serve milk.
Oh.
I'll kind of just like smirk at that one, nod, and then just walk back to everyone else.
Those of you that who were my two people that had good history checks earlier? Yep.
It was me and Thosin.
You and Thosin. You guys know that the they have a special sort of sweet fermented milk, like a sweet condensed fermented milk.
Yeah, but all I was thinking was the TV trope of, like, and the movie trope where when young kids drink it, it's wholesome, and then the moment an adult man drinks it, it is creepy and he's a murderer. Like, that's a movie thing. Like, the moment you give it to someone over their teens, it's that person's gonna kill a bunch of people and eat their spleens.
Yeah, they don't harvest grain or anything like that. They don't harvest honey. Milk is they have a lot of livestock, and it is a easy resource to gather, and so that's what they ferment. So it's not, yeah.
I get it. I don't have to like it, but I get it.
I'm not. You're fine, and they take the cream and the butter and all of that sort of stuff out of it, and then what's left, that very thin sort of skim milk style, so it's not very fatty. But they use that to make, I guess, what would be like a Bailey's, right? Like an Irish cream. Yeah. You know, yeah, soup. Soup is better. Yeah, that's what, you know, you ask him to pass the salt, he gives you soup. Well done, Abed.
But yeah, I mean, at least for me, I'll just calmly walk out of the tent.
Anything else on your, as you guys are going? Okay. As you guys make your way out, you are, one of the sentries will sort of follow you out. They tell you that you have the day. You can stay, enjoy the food, or share or trade. But if you are not of the tribes, tomorrow you should go. Until you bring back the lesser wind. And you know what? I think right there, that's where we're going to take a break. And we're going to come back in about... Sorry, Talroth, did you have something?
Yeah, I was going to ask them if there's an area nearby that's like good for training, let off some steam.
Sure. Yeah. There's a training field.
Y'all got any waterfalls?
I need to do a montage before I come back and kick this guy's ass.
In the eye of the Talroth.
Yes. There is a... so yeah, there are training fields. Yeah. They'll direct you over to them. Awesome. So, yeah, it's 9 o'clock. We're 9:02, 9:05, something like that. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We should be back about 9:15. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to see you in just a few minutes. But until then, stay tuned. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
Matthew, and I'm playing Clever Stitch, the Tabaxi Arcane Archer.
Caitlin, and I'm playing Fable of Frost, the Aestronasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
Megan, I'm playing Soride Landier, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
Howdy, y'all. This is Maz playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout, who is now contemplating a lot of his life's choices.
And I'm Carlos playing Frozen Fahrenheit, the half-orc tiefling Forge Cleric.
I'm sorry, now is when you started questioning your life choices, that it took this long? That this is when?
It wasn't when you joined up with this weird motley crew.
Or even when you were
It's
in the
now.
tunnels and we were all about dead and then came up in the library and the university was on fire. Like, there's so many places where you could have questioned everything. No?
Right.
Alcohol is a wonderful thing.
Well, there
It's
you
because
go.
you're sober right now. You're sober right now and you're like, what is my life?
I just remembered. Yeah, but I did set part of that school on fire, didn't I?
Yes, you fucking did,
I mean,
sir.
I
I wonder if
didn't.
it's fixed by the time we get back.
We'll see.
Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Let's not have that existential fallout right now.
Okay. So we just had Talroth just discovered that a lot of his childhood seems to be a bit of a lie. Both the blades were stolen, and his brother, who was sent out in search of them, has already been here and seemingly stolen back, I guess, one of them, and is now on the run, as the kids might say. So, what we're gonna do now, we'll say that you guys, if you have any other business that you want to participate in the great city of the great tribes, the Centaur Tent City, we can get to that. But while you're doing that, I'm gonna share this screen, and I need to put you guys over there. Thank you. So this is our map of. Right, I can't touch it over there. I have to touch it over here. Okay. Apologies. I'm trying new technology. I'm trying to use technology in technological ways, right? I don't even know if the frame... Yeah, the frame's good enough. You can still kind of see us. We're okay. So this was Vlodin. You traveled about 4 days along the river, 5 days out here, taking you to the 22nd of Mask. And right here is the current location of the tent city. Now, the mountains in the west are way over here. And up here is where your caravan is eventually traveling. You don't know where they are currently. You're actually just a couple of days from the Fortress of the Abyss. So, as you guys sort of think about where you would like to go, you guys can talk about that out of character or in character if you want. Well, as soon as Matthew comes back. But for the stream, I am going to take this down. And then, there we go. There, Matthew's back. Nice. And I'm gonna, let me see. I can export this. I'm gonna send it over on the Discord. So
I believe we actually already have it. It should be, it's pinned.
You do have a version of it. If you want it with the exact place with where you guys currently are, that's what I was.
Very fair. Yes, please.
Yep. So let me get that over to you guys. Did you guys have any business you wanted to do while in export as image? Yes.
It's having a struggle. Faye will just like to go if she's allowed to talk to that centaur historian with the rattle and just like hear a story, trade a story swap, like a recipe swap, but like no food.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Sarai is on Talroth like glue.
Double check that, see if that
Head
works.
scared,
No,
enemies
wrong
pretty.
person. I mean, you can. It's for you too, but no, that's not gonna work.
At least what Talroth would be doing, just making his way towards that little training area that was pointed out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Checking some of the shops on the way. Maybe see if there's like some kind of trinket or something nice to pick up to remember the village or this city by.
Absolutely, yeah. So there are a lot of handcrafts, mostly made from animal byproducts. A lot of sort of bone necklaces. You do see there are a lot of leathers, not a lot of like gemstone sort of things, but they do have some worked metal. They do have some worked metal. Yeah, and the training field is not far. People, as you make your way out onto it, people will sort of come to kind of watch and observe. They don't always see two-legged people out here practicing and things like that. Clever Stitch, what are you up to?
I mean, see, okay, so part of it is like he's really interested in kind of the nomadic scene of all of it, just because that is very like he is very used to that. Mm-hmm. So he's like interested in the ways that their tribal life is different from kind of what he had experienced, and kind of like taking note of the different tents and the different all of that stuff.
He just turned into outdoorsman at a camping expo. Like, what brand is your tent?
Basically, pretty much. Sure. It's like, oh, you guys, oh, you guys use like leathers and things for. Oh, interest. Oh, that.
Yeah, how long do you find that
Weird.
lasts you
That-
better
yeah.
or worse than the?
Basically, and so like he's really interested in that and trying to keeping an eye on that, but also like really noting the fact that they are like, you have a day to explore and then you gotta get the fuck out. So he's not straying too far away from any of his friends, just
Sure.
because like he doesn't want to be that outsider in a very clearly insular tribe. So yeah, he's just like kind of keeping an eye on everything, seeing how everybody does shit, but like trying to stay close to everybody as well.
Yeah, so people keep an eye on you more out of curiosity than you would say, hostility, for sure. One of the things I will note is that you guys do see they do have some dinosaur wranglers, dinosaur pens. No Rexes; those are too aggressive. They do have in some herd animals. Some triceratopses and similar sort of large herbivore like creatures that they have. You realize that because they're so much bigger than people, right? The herd animals that they need to follow, that they need to kill and harvest and honor and all of those sorts of things need to be bigger, so that's you kind of piece together that's a large portion of what they do, and sort of why they do it, right? The dinos are big, they have a lot of leather, they provide a lot more material, even buffalo it wouldn't go as far out here on these plains. So that's sort of that to it. Is there anything you guys need to shop for, or do you want to get to an in-character conversation about where you would like to go, or what?
Well, one thing I would like to pick up, two things. One of them being just something simple like a necklace or even like a bracer that has the tribe, like the symbol for the tribe on it.
Okay.
Something obvious that it's this tribe.
Yes. So there are multiple tribes. There is a grand symbol for like the Ayungi, for the great tribe of Thunder, and that is it is a horse, sort of. I don't know what it's called, rearing up, but on like a cloud, right? As sort of in silhouette, and but the horse is depicted with 6 legs instead of 4, and that is so that is the tribal symbol of the Ayungi.
Neat.
All right, so yeah, if I could get that on like an amulet or bracer or something.
And yeah, either one, both. You can bracers probably more likely. They don't quite have like amulets, but they do emblazon it on. Like you could get leather vests, you can get bracers, you can get it on like pants. Although they're more like chaps, I suppose, because they sort of just like. It doesn't fit the same way, but they do still kind of strap up their legs, to cover them in the winter, things like that. So yeah, you do find one. You can trade some. It's going to be like a gold piece for something like that. That's not going to be a lot.
All right, and the other thing would be. If I could find like a decent shield, something not like a big old heavy shield or anything, but something that I'd be able to kind of move around with.
Okay. Smaller shield. Make me an investigation check.
18.
18. Okay. So they do have something that is akin to a shield. A lot of their shields, for the only people that really have like true traditional shields, seem to be those large walking sentry guards, right? The ones that are like heavily armored. But one of the things that they do kind of have, and you've seen a very specific tribe of archers have it, is it's like a sleeve that's extra thick, right? So it allows them to still use the bow, but to use it defensively, you couldn't wield a melee weapon in its hand with it, right? So it's like an extra large, sort of wide, thick kind of bracer of types. So yeah, it is a version of a shield. It would just behave exactly the same as one.
Okay. And yeah, I'll just pick that up. I think it's like same cost.
Same cost. Yeah.
Okay.
Same cost.
I'm just gonna mark that off real fast.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anywhere to get just like, I don't even know what I want it for and to what I want it to be made into, but if
Sure.
I can just like buy some dino leather, because
Sure.
that's cool, I guess. I don't
Because
fucking know.
obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
can I go
like-
shopping with you? I want Triceratops horns.
Yeah, like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna use it for. I'm gonna figure out some way to get that on something.
I want a
But-
spine that I wear. It's just for show. It's a dinosaur spine and tail that she just wears. She's gonna start.
Are we starting a crafting box? Is that what this is? I don't know what I'm ever going to use this for, but I love
No,
this.
I'd like to buy an intact. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, we are. We have downtime, and some of us aren't here every week, so I'm assuming my character's just sitting in the back knitting with fire. This is a blanket I made out of dragon scales and spite.
Yeah, you guys can go buy some dinosaur leather. They do have a wide variety of it. Yeah, you absolutely can. So types of dinosaurs. I believe that Allosaurus is as close to the Velociraptor that we would know, right? So they have those. They don't keep those. Ankylosaurus is the
That has a very heavy plate.
It's the plate dude. Yeah, it's the armadillo with the thump tail.
And the giant, yep.
Yeah, I
I
remember
work at
him.
Jurassic Park. Like, this is
You-
part of my job.
You know these, yeah, man. Yeah, yes.
I have a new.
I know them like nobody.
I have a new, really specific question.
Okay.
Do they have any live ones that come small
They
and pet-sized
they do
that
not
are
come.
gonna stay small?
No.
No dinosaur comes small, honey. They
Yes,
come
so many.
large.
Oh my god, the ones that ate that girl on the beach at the beginning of the second one, the small ones. I like to think that if they're
Compsognathus.
individuals, they're fine. But a small one, teacup dino, teacup raptor.
Roll me a percentile.
Okay.
Well, she does that question. What is the is it tanning? Is that the whole like leather working like kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay, is that a thing like in D&D? Like
Leatherworking
they're like
tools.
tanner tools?
Yeah,
Okay, leatherworking.
Leatherworking. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd have to go into Xanathar's to double check if they separated leatherworking from tanning, but I don't believe they did.
Okay.
A 1?
'cause-
No, a 96. I was just raising my hand. That's the highest percentile I've ever rolled, except that one time I rolled 100 twice in a row. I'm gonna be upset if this.
Okay. We'll see.
Oh my god, what did I do?
I don't know.
Roll animal handling for dinosaur.
All right. Give me a few moments.
Tiny dino pet, tiny dino pet.
Oh my god, has anyone seen Camp Jurassic? Can it be like bumpy? Camp Cretaceous,
I
sorry.
just want to say something. So your example, you're like, yeah, there's tiny ones. Remember the one that ate the girl on the beach? That's where you fucking, yeah, it's small.
It was just the first one. My head went. There's just so
one for a pet.
Child with impunity, my dude.
Listen,
You're like, no, that'll be.
There's so many. That's just the one that I thought of immediately. Pocket dino. Small. This is fantasy. It can be small and nice. I was started watching Pokemon again today. As you can tell, it's on my mind that I want a small pocket monster.
I'm
You
just
should read
saying.
the book. The books are so much
There's
more
Pokemon
brutal.
books?
Oh no, I was talking about the dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
Everything's fine until you get Blanche.
That's fair. I would have let that monkey die.
I would like to remind you what happens with with animal pets in my games.
Or you could just accept the fact that I'm like, it is trained to sit at the cart and wait with screebers, leave it the fuck alone. And we would all be happy.
You do realize Screebers might cook him.
I will shish kebab screebers if he tries.
We will kill you. We are contractually bound to save Screebers.
You are.
That's really valid, actually. I would be torn between my two selves. But, you know, Cody could be a merciful DM.
I tell you what, you buy an egg. You don't know what's in it. You don't know what's going to happen to it.
Adventure.
But you buy an egg.
Okay, that egg.
Okay? There you go.
This is Pokemon. Like you just have to like
Yes.
raise the egg.
I am going
and
to.
carry it
I
everywhere.
would like to ask the nice lady or gentle them who sells me the egg, and to if there's any temperature requirements. If it needs hot. If it needs cold. If it needs.
Hot. Gotta keep it hot.
Done. And she just how hot?
Don't cook it.
Okay, I won't cook it. Just warmish hands. And she hooks it.
Okay.
And she's going to put it in a pouch on the side of her and just wear it now for a while.
Okay.
This is going to come back and bite me in the adorable ass later.
This will
No,
not
it's gonna
end,
bite all of us in the adorable ass.
this will
Well,
not
we're
end
gonna-
well.
And never mind, I won't buy it, okay?
You can
No,
have
never
it.
mind,
Buy
never
it.
mind, stop it, never mind.
Buy
No,
it.
it's fine.
You got it.
Because I'm not going to do something that's going to actively hurt the party later on. I'm not a selfish player, so no, never mind.
I'm not. I don't have stats for a tiny dinosaur. So you get an
You're
egg.
running an entire show where you restructure creatures from the thing.
I know.
You can change it.
I haven't gotten there yet. That's why you got an egg. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's an egg. That's what you got.
I'm fine with it being an egg. I'm not fine with you saying that it's not going to end well, because now I just feel like I'm fucking everyone over.
I am less worried about it growing up to eat you guys than I am of you like falling and crushing the egg. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about it eating you guys. You already killed it. You guys killed a T-Rex in like 2 rounds. You're not. Dinosaurs are not a danger for you, right?
And now we will have one on our side next time.
See, and then we have a what? Have a dinosaur. You've wanted a dinosaur for years as we played this game.
You're gonna turn it against me.
I'm not gonna turn it against you. You gotta raise it. You gotta keep it alive.
I will get a Tamagotchi in real life, and it will just. We'll figure it out.
Well, for now, you've got the dinosaur egg.
Okay.
All right? It's gonna cost you 25 gold pieces
Fucking done.
for a mystery dinosaur egg.
Done.
Okay. Anything else?
Sorry. Wanting to learn tanning in the future, want to see how they treat the dinosaur like leathers and stuff.
Yeah, so you know a little bit about the tanning process. You've been around crafting your entire life. You do have some nice conversations, very specifically about the types of oils and chemicals that they use to cure and tan the hide, because leather needs to be treated right in order to make it a little more water resistant, so it doesn't deteriorate and become sort of threadbare and thin and all of those sorts of things. So yeah, you do have a great bit of conversation with it. Make me a intelligence check, please.
Straight intelligence?
Yeah.
16.
16. Okay. So 16 is pretty good. I am gonna say that when you start learning leatherworking tools, you'll get a week you'll still have to spend the week to learn it, but you won't have to pay the 25 gold pieces. You'll get it for free, because you've had a masterclass crash course in leatherworking.
Time for.
So, right, is there anything specific you are doing as Thosin is learning leatherworking, or are you just hanging out over his shoulder, looking at the dino leather?
First of all, I can't see over her shoulder. I'm not that tall. Second of all,
Get a stool?
she's with Tauroth.
Oh, Talroth, yes. Speaking with Talroth. I thought Thosin for some reason.
Yep, just rubbing his ears and keeping him calm.
Mm-hmm.
Oosa.
So yeah, the only other thing for me would be when we get to that training area.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I'm looking to see if there's like some kind of standing dummy or like some kind of archery target or something like to swing at.
Yeah, there are some makeshift. There are definitely archery targets. A lot of them are horseback riding or horseback archers, right? So there are those. There are some wooden stands and like some leather bound wraps and stocks that are taking sort of cuts and piercings and things like that. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'll go to one of those, and getting closer to it, just put my stuff down. Actually, take a minute and just take the chest piece of the armor off.
Mm-hmm.
So just bare-chested, tie the hair back, only having the double bladed in my hand. Just kind of look back at Saride. You might want to give me a few feet of clearance. I have some issues to work out.
She will roll her eyes at the shirtless edgelord in front of her, but she will take a few steps away.
Oh, well, there you go. That is important.
Yeah, I'd pretty much just start off just basic katas, just simple swings into it, kind of testing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe like a minute into it, just start kind of just as I'm still going, just kind of talking back to Saride. Would we know if the centaurs around us know Common or Elvish?
Make a perception check. You can use your passive as a floor.
So 18.
18. So you know most of these centaurs speak Sylvan and their dialect of Sylvan and Elvish. Common is you figure about maybe half of them speak Common. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I cast comprehend languages, can I understand Thieves' Cant?
So Thieves' Cant can be spoken in any language, and it's not it's not that the words they're saying are incomprehensible.
It's code, not language. You've answered this before. We've had this. We've run into. I tried to do that as well before. Because it's not a language. It's like understanding symbols carved on a trail that you don't know where they are.
It's Cockney rhyme slang. So I hear him say apples and pears. I don't know it means stairs.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'll just start speaking in common to her, and yeah, just like mid-swing. How the fuck am I still 2 steps behind this son of a bitch?
Well, he went out first. That's all. That's all that it means. And look at it this way. He actually did part of the work for you. All we gotta do is find him. How hard do you think he's gonna be to deal with?
Well, there's a reason that some bitch was called the golden child of the village. I mean, fucking perfect at everything. It's like, oh, it's time to start learning arcane magic. And he gets it on day 1 and took me a week just to figure out what the hell the rune meant.
I can guarantee you, he's not as good at hiding as you are.
Well, if he's been hiding for 20 some odd years from these centaurs in their own lands, he must have gotten a little better somehow. Hell, even
Where did they say he went south?
Yeah, hightailed it south and just kicked off to the west somewhere. But hell, hiding ain't his style. He loves being the center of attention. It's like, hell, I got shat on by him when I was trying to hide and sneak around, saying, "Oh, your roguish talents are not going to be necessary in life." It's like, and I'll just start swinging harder into the post.
Well, you know that he's wrong. You're remarkably useful for a tool, and if he hasn't been found, maybe it's because I know what's southwest. It's the Elven Tower, right?
I mean, you guys, you do know the map. So south is Tears of Shayloren. Far to the south is Bacliff, ruins of Bacliff, but to the west is the Grand Mountain Range. It's what divides half this continent, or most of this continent, 3/4 of this continent. Yeah.
Does that, so like, because this is a square,
That mountain range continues.
It continues
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was 2 different mountain ranges, the one in the bottom left and the one in the top left.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that is all one. That is all one mountain range. Actually, so sorry, mine's reloading. So yeah, those mesas and those hills are sort of the foothills and outcroppings, offshoots of that mountain range. So yeah, it's all one sort of big
That's the
geographic
Wardens
body.
Tower?
Yeah, from the Wardens Tower directly south, there are those other mesas and things. So those towers, you guys would know, sort of the chunk of map that's not there. There are actually sort of these guard towers set up along that mountainous border.
We're just making sure I was looking at the right thing, so.
Yes, yeah.
If he's not around, maybe it's not by choice.
As long as I've known him, he never did anything that wasn't his choice. He always had to try to be the one on top, be the star, be the center of attention.
What are you going to do when we find him?
Well, considering he never listened to me once before, Might have to force him to listen this time, and I'll just spin the blade around fast and just slam it in and just dig the blade into the post and just leave it there for a second. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I ain't seen that son bitch in, say, what, 40, 50 years? Or however long it was. I don't even know.
Do you love him?
Love is a strong word.
I know.
Look, I acknowledge he's family. I mean, you can't really change the blood there. But at this point, Talroth just, you can see he's trying to, it's like he'll start and then just stop, like the thought just isn't coming out. I've had to clean up his messes so many times that I felt more like a babysitter for my own dad, because Cass the ass was off training and being the golden child, and I was the one left behind. So I don't even know if he remembers my name at this point.
You don't have to decide now what we're going to do, and I know that we're not going to run into him for a little bit of time, hopefully, but whatever you decide, you please know that we're all behind you on this one. Whatever you decide to do.
Just take a breath and just kind of pull the blade back out of the post. Just kind of spin it around for a second. I know the one thing that I'd want to do is kind of prove to him that I ain't no second place to him. But if it does come down to it, and I'm just going to full force swing and just try to cut the post down in one shot. Just, if it doesn't cut down, I'll just rewind and just swing again until it gets cut down.
Okay, make me roll damage without sneak attack on just with your scimitar.
Can't sneak attack the post, oh man.
I'm not close enough.
That's valid.
That would be 10.
Okay. 1 second.
The thing they never tell you about DMing is how often you look up stats for inanimate objects.
Very
All the time, right?
So the first cut sort of gets about halfway through, and you spin the blade back around, and the second one finishes cleaving the test dummy in twain.
Yeah, pretty much the part that falls, just stake the blade into it. And if Cass decide that his younger brother ain't worth his time, well, I guess I'll be the eldest child.
You know, while you're going around trying to prove that you're better than he is, you could actually go and just be better than he is.
I get what you're saying. So it ain't lost on me. It's just there's a bit of pride there, especially with him. That
No, really? You?
if you think
You have any left? I thought Treasured won it all off of you.
No, I've been getting some of that back. Don't you worry none. But if you think that I have issues with pride, try having a chat with Cass. Let me know how that goes.
I would love to, actually. I have quite a few questions for him, mainly about your formative years, but if we need to get this blade off of him, maybe chatting's going to be the way to do it, so that we don't go immediately to fratricide, you know.
Fratra, what?
Maybe we don't kill your brother right off the bat. Maybe. I know. It was a soft pitch. I was trying.
Yeah, we'll call that Plan B.
Do you feel any better?
A little bit. I mean, it's gonna make things that much trickier now, especially since his good old social graces decided to insult the damn tribe. So, yeah.
Really? What is your follow-up plan here? We're going to get the little Gale, and then you're going to come back here and, I don't know, stab the giant horse to death and take your other sword back. You want to start talking social graces here? Not to mention that lovely little threat that you left him with as a goodbye. As far as badass moments go, choice. I couldn't have written a script better myself. But for fuck's sake, Tauroth.
Well, excuse me for, having to clean up another mess, because my first thought was, I just want to confirm this is the sword. But no, Kaz had to show up and cause all sorts of drama, and now I don't even know. I don't know. I was pissed. I was confused. And you know what? That big old sumbitch, he challenged me. He said, "Oh, your sword is weak." It's like, and that's a damn insult to Thozen, who is a fine craftsman. So, yeah, okay, I got a bit heated. But...
Thank you for standing up for Thozen's honor. So few people do it.
Weren't nothing. Big old beef daddy. I saved my ass a couple times, so I owe him one. I'm just fucking confused. It's like, hell, even the whole thing about that lesser wind, cause now when I get God, I'll go, ow, bit my tongue, shit. So at least now when I go home and have a chat with dear old One Arm, I need to ask him if the sword he has there is the real one or if it's a fake. Cause yeah.
Do you think your father even knows?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Tauroth, you spend so much time in the shadows. I'm worried that you're spending too much of it in your dad and your brothers too.
Yeah, I've been trying to pull my way out of there, but there's a lot just kind of stuck up in here that I'm still working on.
You have people that care about you. And me.
It is definitely appreciated, and believe me, it don't go unnoticed. But yeah, there's some. I'll probably explain all this to everyone else later, but there's some shit that, at least growing up, well, being a babysitter for your own dad ain't the easiest thing to do. It's not the most thrilling of childhoods.
I can imagine. I would also suggest we save that conversation for when we're in slightly less threatening environs. Just in case.
I'll just kind of look around at all the other centaurs.
Some of them have noticed you, some of them are purposefully ignoring you. But you get the feeling that they're like probably the guy who runs this field, like, and whatever squires have to come over and like have to remake this dummy or replace it. You know what I mean? They're like, you know, there's a couple that see it as a challenge, but most of them are ignoring you.
Well, depending how things go, if what the Ayongi said is all on the up and up, then hell, maybe at some point this will be my tribe.
That's a terrifying thought. Let's just not. I don't. Nope.
Yeah, I do feel a little better though. I just had to blow some steam off and just. I need a drink. Want to get a drink? Let's go get drinks. Let's go get everybody get drinks. Except for Oliver's
sure.
damn sword.
I don't want to fucking talk about. She starts slipping into Elvin and Sylvan and just fucking taps a goddamn Luley knot. Stupid piece of no shit.
Yeah, so I'll just get my gear and just start heading back.
Does that mean we have to drink fermented milk? Oh.
They're gonna be like White Russians. We'll just put a ton of alcohol in them. It's gonna be great.
Cats love milk.
They don't drink milk. They're lactose intolerant. Don't give your cats milk.
Give them wine instead.
Only if they're tabaxi.
Okay. Well, you guys gather back up. You drink as much or as little of the fermented milk, I suppose, as you're interested in.
Do they have anything else? Rubbing alcohol? I would honestly rather use shots of like turpentine at this point.
They may have traded for some like wine and things like that, but it would be very expensive. It would be, twice.
I would rather drink white wine than whatever this is.
Okay. Yeah, it's twice the cost for
If
a
you
bottle.
know, Megan, that's fighting's words right there. That's a real big deal.
No.
We don't drink thinking wine in this house.
Frozen looks over at Sarai and is like, are you going to finish that one? And then just take the milk from her and just start chugging it.
Oh, I'm drinking it.
I find you significantly less attractive now, sir. I'm so sorry.
I mean, Clever Stitch is also probably drinking it. Matthew hates it.
Sure.
Matthew hates the idea of it.
Fable
because
has
it's fermented milk.
Fable has asked if they have any cocoa powder or peppermint. She'd like to try to remake a circus drink from home. Like, she's fine with the fermented milk. She's just like, there's flavors missing. For when we have it at the nights at the,
Probably more like a spearmint. They do.
That's fine. I'll take it. And she mixes in with and she heats it up at the bottom of her hand. She just lets it bubble and makes this fermented milk tea with the mint.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Yeah.
and it's fine. She's totally fine.
And probably have some cinnamon as well.
On board, she'll mix stuff in. She's making a weird concoction and it's snow on top of the hot drink, from Fantasy Starbucks. And she just
It's like Kahlua and milk. That's
absolutely. She's ready.
Yeah. I'm imagining the fermented milk has little textures. I'm like, bobas.
No, it's like a Bailey's.
I'm just imagining goat's milk, which is delicious.
It's Bailey's or if you've ever mixed Kahlua with milk, it doesn't. There's nothing. It doesn't ferment. Those fat bits aren't in there. Yeah.
Got it. Megan, you okay?
No.
I mean, it's anyway, there are plenty of drinks that have milk in them. So.
Yes.
I know, and I actually really like milk, but this sounds god awful.
Yeah.
You added the word fermented and everyone freaked the fuck out.
Pretty much. So then eventually, not to like take away from everybody's drinking, but Clever Stitch will start to steer the direction in what are we doing after this?
So where are we going?
Where's the after party? What's everybody up to after we're done with the milk?
Exactly. So does anybody have like an after party planned? Are we gonna keep the party going? Come on.
We're 2 drinks in, Stitch. What the hell?
And Fable's fine. She's like 6 drinks in and is like,
That's not.
the fuck
that's
is
not
wrong?
actually-
Do you
that's not
lose
it.
constitution with every time you die? Like,
my tongue is just going nuts. I'm kidding.
Food.
oh man. But in all honesty,
But yeah,
so
where are we going?
it sounds to me like we're going sword hunting. But
Yes.
that's entirely your decision, Talroth.
Well, we also gotta start heading up to the forge, because I know we already have a agreement to head up there, and I know Thosen's been itching to get up there too.
And you're thinking if your brother's been hiding for 20 years, hiding for a few more weeks won't kill us?
Yeah, because if he's done this good job already, then I mean, I'm gonna find him. It's like I owe him at least 3 kicks of the balls at this point, just on principle. But I know we've already kind of detoured a few times from the agreement we already have with the caravan, and I think we got to catch up to them at some point. But if the mountains, if the mountains that Cass ran off to are near the forge, then all right, maybe you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But those are okay.
Doesn't pass
He's
out for a
blacking out.
moment, but he's browning out. He's browning out. He's gonna snap back around in just a moment. There he is. Yep, he snapped too.
All right. Oh, wait a second. I just thought of something. Shit. I don't know if I have anything that casts on me. I mean,
Were you gonna try to scry on him?
well, I can't scry on him, but if there's somebody who can,
Did any of us take that
What
spell?
level is it?
It's a third.
It's a third. We all, a lot of us have the potential to have it. I don't think any of us have it.
I don't think I have it either. At all. As a
cleric?
this type of cleric.
Or maybe
Yeah,
that
I see it on my
specific
thing.
type.
clerics do have scrying, I think.
It's not on my to learn list for some reason.
Maybe it's because you're
It's
the wrong
because it's a
domain.
5th level spell.
That's
Ah.
Oh,
why.
that'll do it.
That would do it.
There you go.
I was thinking of sending. As
Yeah,
a
I can
much
look at
that's what I went.
Yeah, but send just sends a message to him. So we're, at that point, we'd be warning him that we're coming.
We're coming, motherfucker.
I mean, so if we're going, remind me again, because Matthew, my player, does not remember which section of the mountains is the forge past. Is it past towards the north, more of the central, some of the south?
It would be passed in the north. So between those 2 towers, on the other side of the mountain range.
I mean, we have to go to the mountains anyway, and perhaps we just conveniently follow a roundabout way to go through them, and we look for your brother on the way.
Yeah, I mean, if we find him, we find him.
A question that might sound stupid and might be just me having been raised around stories too much in my life. Is there any chance your brother went to the forge to try to rebuild the other half rather than coming the fuck back here? Is there a chance that we may actually just run into both of them in the same fucking place? Because if I had half a magical sword and I wanted to figure out how to make it work properly, that's exactly where I'd goddamn go. It might explain why he's been stuck there for so long. Is if he couldn't get back out.
if he's stuck there, then that'll definitely make it a lot easier.
Cody made a face like either he was disappointed in me or upset that I figured it out.
No,
I don't know what happened.
Or that net just disappeared.
I made a face that Clever Stitch browned out.
Got it. Okay, I thought I fucked up. I was like,
This
panic.
fermented milk is strong.
So strong. It's messing us up in the real world.
Sticking with the thinking line.
Yeah.
She's gonna say in orc to Thosin, how much you want to bet that the brother's dead?
I don't think he is. You think so?
All right, I got 5 gold says he is.
Okay, you're on. I got 5 gold says he's not. And I shake on it with my tail.
Yeah, you shake. Sure.
I said to the group,
Yeah, I just bound him on the table. That's how we do it. What's up?
always.
Yeah.
Well, I might not be able to scry specifically, but I won't be able to do it today, but I can cast divination tomorrow. I would have to prepare it. I can reach out to Branos and see if we can ask one question, but it has to be specific to a goal or a event or something that we are looking for in the next 7 days. So if it's like, if you think that we would potentially run into him, we can try it. Just know that Branos is not always the most direct when it comes to this. Like, he could be very cryptic.
Thosin, it's a good idea. I will let you know. Any of the mountains are more than 7 days away from where you're at, so you would need to be closer for that to even start to be able to factor. So, because you're like 2 weeks from the edge of the mountains.
Got it. But we would not be able to do this at least until we're halfway there.
Well, that's probably a good idea. I mean, at least it's something. I'll figure if we start traveling again, I'll start just kind of putting some of the feelers out, and I don't know. Hell, say, just looking at all the random leads got me at least this far. Maybe I'll be able to find that asshole somehow.
I mean, weirder things have happened.
Yeah, including the fact that you waited until now to start questioning your life choices. Again, we've got a weird bar for strangeness with this.
Well, school's burning down, and weird people that we killed now coming back and all that shit. I mean...
That was... You were unfazed by that. How?
Well, because it was something new. I don't know what to expect.
That's fair, and this is just same old shit. Got it. All right, now I understand. And she...
So, off to the forge, or we going somewhere else first?
Over the mountains and through the woods, it's off to the forge we go.
I mean, so if I'm... Okay, so we're going to the forge regardless, but if I'm thinking, where do I stop? Is your brother a nature man? Is he a naturalist? Does he like to be near people? Does he like to be in cities? What's the deal?
What's his character background? Does he prefer, was he a noble? Where's his advantageous position?
Well, last that I remember, at least peeking in on some of his training and hearing some of his gloating. Oh, he loved to gloat, that son of a bitch. Think the village elders called him something. There was some kind of specific word for it. A blade singer, something like that.
All right.
I mean, he was all arcane. It's like he was all about that fancy wizard magic.
But with
Alright.
blades.
Do we think Wardens Tower on the way? Let's just hit up something that isn't quite living in the mountains by yourself and scrounging to survive every single day. If that doesn't sound like him.
if he's not going to be at the forge or dead somewhere on the way, it sounds like that'd be a good place to start.
Tauroth, make an insight check, and I'll give you advantage.
That is a 24.
Okay. You may not know where he is now. Looking at the map, you know that he did travel south. If he made that long of a trek to the west to a wilderness area, he probably went through one of the tiers of Shayla to hire a guide of some kind to travel into the mountains. He did not care for wilderness as far, his magic took care of everything. He probably tiny hutted every day on the way there. But he is not a survivalist, right? And the Tears of Shayla, you guys know, has a large area of menageries and holds together a wide variety of wild animals. They would have both, they would have arcane resources and naturalists. But he is not there now. So if you want, it is a detour at best to pick up a clue. So it is not necessarily something that that is a guaranteed success. Wardens Tower does make sense. He would probably check in at whatever the nearest tower he went to was, because it's the last bit of civilization before you hit the other side.
Yeah, even thinking about all that, it's like Warden's Tower would be on the way to the forge, correct?
More or less, yeah.
So we'd probably have... Actually, would it make sense for the caravan to stop by there on the way to the forge as one of those last stops?
It probably would have stopped at the far northern tower of the Warden's Tower. Those are all Warden's Towers. Anytime you see one of those, I just didn't want to write it 3 times, 4 times. Yeah. And those towers are all part of the same organization. They are all part of basically like rangers that watch the west. So they can communicate with each other magically. So,
and I'd say the Warden's Tower is probably our best bet.
All right.
Keeps us on track with what we were hired to do, and hell, maybe we'll get lucky.
And obviously, eyes out, ears out for all signs of blade singers.
Yeah, and I will describe what Cass looks like, at least how I would remember him.
mm-hmm.
So, at least how, say, last Tauroth would have seen him, he would have been wearing like a light armor, but a very nice light armor. It's like it would have been well taken care of, very clean. His robes underneath, like a very, very well crafted rapier that usually just kind of hung on his belt. Also, his hair, just like I mentioned before, golden, kind of slicked back. If any of that's changed over the years.
All right. Good to know.
So you guys settle on a destination, right? I'm sorry, was there something you wanted to say, Caitlin?
No.
Okay. You gather up your supplies the next day. Any last minute purchases or anything you guys would like to do?
Fable would like to take a jug of the milk.
Okay. Sure.
She'd like to get and the fillings that she made her fancy drink with.
Sure.
It tasted like home, and she was very excited about it.
Yeah.
And also, no, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, you can purchase one. Look at the Player's Handbook. I think like a barrel of ale, same price. So yeah, you can do that. I think there's also like price for a seasonings or spices or something like that. So yeah, you can absolutely gather that up and piece that together. Everybody do me a favor. I'd like you guys to roll me percentiles, please.
I blew my 96 on dinosaur eggs.
So fucking close. 68. God damn it.
84 still. Pretty high tonight. My normal rolls have all been below 5, but the percentiles are my friends this year, apparently.
Percentiles are what you get.
82.
18.
5.
Listen, that just means that we got the gambit of high to low. That's what you want on some percentiles. You want a wide range of things.
That would have been awesome with a divine intervention.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just weird. It's just really fucking weird. It's like getting 100. Like, what do you do with that?
What can you do? There's just not much. Okay. I need just a moment. Apologies.
That's okay.
Ooh, made you guys...
I am beating my brain out over dice decisions. Folks, if you're in the chat, go check out Norse Foundry. Help me pick some colors. You can shop there with our code REPRPG for 15% off. And you too will know my fucking struggle because there's so many goddamn colors.
Their choice.
And unfortunately, in my head initially, I was like, this is going to be my dice color palette for Fable. And then I went, but it's not. None of them are. And I need it to match. And I need, from my heart, it to match and work. So there I am.
Also, I've taken notes, guys. Be proud of me.
Hey.
I am so proud.
Always
Like,
proud.
There's
proud.
more than just a single date. I'm killing it, kids.
Honestly, my goal is to someday have mods who are like, we have the chat mods and they're here all the time. And then we have the note mods.
Yes.
The job it is to update a Google Doc as we go so we can all refer to it afterwards. Maybe we give them some free stuff every month or something. I would pay someone to do that. Not a lot because I'm poor. But like, if you're interested, chat, and you can be here every Monday night and pay attention, let us know. We'll send you swag.
Matt's notes are like the date and 7 days this way, 7 days that way. Done.
Well, see, sometimes my notes are just that, but like sometimes they're fairly extensive. One of the lines was "Huge General is raw," probably a euphemism.
Centaur Tent City.
Yeah.
Centaur Tent City. Wham bam, thank
Also,
you, Ram.
Talroth has a brother? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark?
I liked Megan's breather, but since you typed it that way twice, I thought it was on purpose. I was like, did I miss some weird elf thing? Is this an elf thing? Like, I was genuinely...
Yeah.
Breather.
Do you want to fucking know? That's why the fair terrifying.
If you know, you know. Fuck. Oh, man. Yeah. That's a good time. Yes, Talroth?
No, I was just coughing.
Oh, okay. It looked like you were trying to say something, and I got hyper-focused on that. I was like, oh, no, oh, no.
Nope, I was going to say something, then I had to cough. But so it's like, okay, I got to pick one, talk or cough.
I do have to say the thing I like about push-to-talk, at least. If you'll notice, before I start talking, my box lights up so people know I want to talk. Like, it's...
Yeah. I need to change the key I have it bound to because I'll just accidentally hit it every now and then. So it's like, I need to fix that.
That's
See,
valid.
mine is the key that's right under escape. That's why, like earlier when I was like, "Oops, wrong key." It's the little,
the
little
tilde.
that thing.
The what?
It has a word.
The tilde?
Yeah, that.
Like Swinton?
I mean, sure.
She was named Stroke?
It's the squiggly that can go. It's like
Yeah, I've never seen it used.
that makes N's into Enyas.
Oh, Enyas. Yeah,
Spanish,
okay.
yeah.
And never mind. You're right. I know exactly what this is, and I'm dumb.
Yeah.
That's the one that I use because it's something that's not commonly used. So
I failed Spanish 101 thrice. Failed it. Didn't just not do well. Failed it thrice.
Foreign languages are hard if you're a native English speaker and you've never been exposed to them.
Yeah.
Some people have like a natural.
Exposed to a second language is hard.
Some people have like a natural grasp on foreign languages, and I desperately wish I was one of those people because I really want to travel, but I'm also like very naive and squishy, and I will absolutely get taken advantage of and absolutely be laughed at in these foreign countries for being a fucking idiot American. And I don't want to be.
Depends on where you go.
I just want to be able to talk to them.
Oh, especially being Cuban. Yeah, the Spanish that I speak is looked down on by most other countries.
Oh.
Cuban Spanish is considered slang Spanish everywhere.
That's Puerto Rican Spanish.
that's me.
All allowed.
I'll 100%
So
admit it.
we've got it represented all over the place here.
They don't qualify. All the Spanish-speaking countries do not like the way anyone else speaks Spanish.
I have to know,
At
Cody,
all.
your family's from Mexico, correct?
Mexico, yeah.
So Mexico, Cuba, and Puerto Rico represented all in the same. Y'all tell your friends this stream is diverse as hell. and we have the gays, we have the bis, we have the straights, we're all here. We have the women,
We have the tries.
we have the tries. We're so fucking diverse.
True.
I love us.
Love us too. As you guys set out across the Great Grass Sea, those massive stretch of land before you, who rolled me the highest one?
My 86 or 84 was 96. 84.
84.
I had 82, yeah, so Fable.
Okay. Fable, roll me a D4.
Oh no.
It can go either way.
I know, I'm just singing the TikTok oh no in my head.
The Aerosmith, oh no?
Oh no, no. The meme one, not the real one. This could literally go either way. A 2.
Okay.
Right in the fucking middle.
Megan. What are my next three? Oh, so, let's see. Sarai, Tauroth, and Thozen. Would each of you roll me a d12, please?
The hell's a D12?
Exactly.
Just about to say, is that like a?
That's the
like
barbarian one.
2d6s?
It's the barbarian one.
So D20, but anything above 12 doesn't count.
Exactly. That's how barbarians work, right?
Okay.
Is that not how math works?
10.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 1.
Same. Aw, Tower
got
off
it
her
wrong.
buddy.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no, 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 no.
Fucking elves. Or it could have been fucking Thousand.
Yes, you are. Shut your mouth.
We get to fight 3 rocks and an ancient green dragon. Yay!
If you mean 3 big boulders and then the dragon, I'll say sure. But the other thing, I'm gonna take my egg and run away.
Velxer, is that you?
Comes around 2 of striptease.
If we're fighting a green
protect-
dragon, can I switch to Mac?
Can I just move characters? Our old characters just appear. Yvonne's here to cut its head off. Let's go. Aw.
You must protect Togepi at all cost.
Oh my god, it's Togepi!
Yes, it is.
Togepi!
You're welcome.
Kez, I'm going to need an art of a dinosaur version of that, please. Just with Fable holding it. Tiny arms and head and tail out, but we don't see the rest of his body. It can just still be in the egg.
Actually,
Thank you so much.
would you make me some? I need some nature checks from you, or
All of us or just me?
just you. They don't have eggs. You have eggs.
Okay.
You have to take care of the egg. It's not an animal yet.
Hold that thought, Kez. I may be about to kill it.
I cast Shield of Faith on the egg.
Okay.
I believe in
Immediately
you.
look around for
Have some
screamers.
inspiration.
Did you just inspire me? I would like to point out that the whole team is rallying to help me protect this egg. I love you all. I'm gonna use luck. And then all of those things.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Kisiosaurus! Fucking rude! And what was your thing, Carlos?
Oh, I was joking.
Oh, that was all- okay, just
It
making
was
sure.
just chill the face.
I was just making sure. I was like, what? Okay. 17.
Okay. That's one.
Okay.
I
How
need
many
two
women?
more.
Fuck. No more inspiration, so...
They're different days.
bless
She
it?
can inspire you again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Could I assist to give advantage?
Are you trained in nature?
Yes.
Then yes, you may.
Hey. Then 15. Oh, advantage. Let me roll again. Hold on. Then dirty 20.
Okay. And number 3?
Different die every time because I don't trust any of them today. Can use luck again. 18.
18. Okay.
And 1 luck point down if we immediately fight something today.
Okay. Well, your egg continues to it is doing well. It is nearing the time of hatching.
Oh, that's so fast. Fuck. I was like, okay.
Well, you don't know how far into the journey you guys are necessarily
Fair.
at this point. You have set it across.
You just spelled them out. Yes, got it.
Yeah, I just we needed to do some things, and we're in that awkward time in the game where it's not quite enough time to do something, and it's too little time to really stop. So it's the awkward phase. We're doing some things to get them out of the way. But as you guys are traveling out across the plains, you've been going for about 6 days, and your journeys have been oddly smooth. You've traveled avoiding the Fortress of the Abyss and sort of steering in between there and the 8 tiers of Shayloren. Heading towards the Wardens Tower, veering just to the north a bit. And on the morning of the 6th day, out across the horizon, you see a massive bird that is shadow is tremendous, but more interestingly is down. It is flying fairly near the grass. There seems to be a group of individuals either hunting or attempting to trap it as you look out across the way. And we're going to pick up with that next week. So.
Good luck.
Fantastic.
Good luck next week's cast.
I'm
You
still
did
going
this.
to be
You put
here.
this evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
Oh, Matthew did this and he's fucking running away. I'm gonna
just
stay here.
psychic. I'm just psychic. What can I say?
So I'm gonna use the rolls that you guys made tonight to build the next the journey of our encounter. Hopefully next week we make it to the Wardens Tower. I'm gonna try to kind of push through some of this travel because we get into long stretches of you guys just walking, just fellowshipping it up, right? You know what I mean? Just, you know.
They began to describe themselves walking.
Yeah. And Abed did confirm that they walked. And we don't need to do Gandalf on Shadowfax for 30 pages between the riders of Rohan, between Rohan and Minas Tirith. It's literally.
But Cody, how else will we know the weight of the decisions and the war and the darkness and his whole life?
Because none of that's in there. They just talk about trees and rocks.
It's obviously symbolic.
It's 30 pages of trees and rocks. 30 pages. That's where I gave up. That was it. That was where I gave up. I can't. I'm sorry. That was made it past Tom Bombadil. Did all of that. We got to 30 pages of trees and rocks, and I went,
fuck.
I can't. I'm done. Can't do it anymore. So we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to be back next Monday, and we're going to continue this adventure, make it to the Wardens Tower, and see what lies to the west. Because you guys have been on this map for a little bit. You had the first map for a while, and we're going to get to map 3 in sort of this stretch. And
we want to be westward hoes.
And westward hoes you shall be.
We're always westward hoes. Come on.
That is, yeah, there it is. So we're going to see who's back next week. And tomorrow night, we are, for the patrons, we've got A to Z Monstrosities. Wednesday night, we're going to have some sort of video game stream. We've got the archives.
Creative stream Wednesday.
Creative stream. Oh, I thought we'll figure it out. We got something.
We'll figure it out. We've got options.
We got stuff. It's going to happen Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. We've got the archives on Thursday. We've got Diablo on Friday. And we'll see what we piece together for the weekend. So,
and then on Sunday, I believe we have a
Wizard,
video game stream as always.
Wizard,
yes,
yeah, sorry, Caitlin Wizard always does.
Caitlin Wizard's Sunday night adventures. I think she's still doing Andromeda. I think she's still doing.
I believe
Andromeda.
so. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So that is awesome. It's a really good time.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to say good night. We will see you guys next time. But until then, be cool.